This video is an excerpt from our weekly podcast. Go and watch the full podcast, check the link in the description of this video, or support us on Patreon at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming.
Bobby Kotick, he's the boss of Activision, one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, arguably one of the greediest, although there's a few different, hats in that ring these days. They had what's called a say on pay vote recently, which basically means the shareholders get to have a say on how much the executives get paid. Don't get this misconstrued. Don't think it's, maybe it's a chance for, the actual workers, the regular people at these companies, maybe it's a chance for them to get a bit more money. It's absolutely nothing to do with that. It's about whether or not the shareholders want to give the executives a bit more money or keep it all for themselves. So it's rich people arguing about who gets percentages, really. That's all that matters. So just, it's clarified. The workers aren't even in the equation. And it's been a kind of prickly topic for Activision for a couple of years now. Anytime there's the say on pay thing comes to decide how much Mr. Bobby Kotick is getting paid, there's a bit of dissent in the ranks amongst the shareholders. Some of them are happy to keep paying him millions and 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 millions. Others just want to pay him millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. See, there is a subtle difference in those terms. Recently, some of the shareholders, they forced Activision to make some changes, which included halving, literally 50% of Bobby Kotick's salary and his core bonus, because you get $1 million bonuses at these companies. That's just how they do business. So everything else, pretty much everything else, 95% of his total earnings are all performance based, which that's probably the way it should be, right? You should earn your money. That sounds reasonable. But then the question is, has he performed well enough over the past financial year to earn the compensation that he's currently asking for and Activision are going to give him unless the shareholders say otherwise? 54% of all of their shareholders voted in favor. Only 54, so that's really, really tight. 46% of people disagreed with the amount of money he's going to get paid. So he's going to get paid it. The amount of money he's getting paid is $155 million. And that's just this one thing, just the compensation. He'll still get his salary. He'll still get stock options and investments and all that sort of shit. So he's not short of cash. No, in no way is this an immediate loss for him. Although, if you actually look at it, the amount of shareholders who are not happy with the amount of money he's getting paid should be cause for concern for the folks at Activision. They need to start figuring that out, but not right now, because Bobby's got a yacht to go buy or something. I don't know. What do people with millions and millions of dollars do? But over the past few years, the votes have been getting tighter. So in 2020's vote, it was 57% in favor, so only slightly better than this year's. But then in 2019, it was pretty okay, 82%. And then before that, in 2018, it was 92%. So clearly the shareholders are being a bit like, hang on, well, you're getting paid too much. And again, not because the workers deserve any, it's because they want it. They want it for themselves. So that's the most fun I have in any of these kind of news stories, because they're just eating each other. I like watching the rich scramble around like rats for crumbs. Anyway, there's one particular investment group who was in the article I read who was quite vocal about this, called CTW Investment Group, and one of their executives called Michael Varner said, "This is the 6th time in the past 8 years Activision has received less than 70% support for its say on pay proposal, and the 2021 vote is the lowest support the company has received on this proposal in its history." So you could read that as the shareholders have never been more pissed off with the amount Bobby Kotick's getting paid, which is it's a staggering amount. And I'm not gonna try and say maybe he should be paid less because he doesn't work hard. I'm sure he works somewhat. I think the workers of these companies who actually do the groundwork should be getting paid way more. That's not to say that these CEOs don't do anything and don't deserve a little bit more, because there is no denying he has made the company a shitload of money from his leadership from when he joined the company a few years ago. So he didn't start it, he just came in and has made it what it is today. There is no getting around that, so he deserves something for that. But I just think getting that much money, and then you're also laying off studios left, right and center, and all of these other things, which should mean that your company's not doing well, but then you still walk away with millions and millions and millions. That's just wrong to me.
That's it. I'm reading this article here. In April the 30th this year, it was announced that he was only getting half of his salary. Like he took a 50% salary cut. Like, poor guy, only down to $875,000 a year.
That's what one of the things these investment groups were saying. It didn't matter because the salary he lost is just being made up by compensation anyway. His annual take-home is the same.
He can still earn up to 200% of his base salary in an annual bonus. So that's 1.75 million just in an annual bonus. And then the stock that he gets, the stock bonus is this $150 million worth. So he could just sell that stock at any point and realize that cash. This is a guy worth, according to this article I'm reading, over £600 million now. That's not enough. That isn't enough for a guy who he's got 2 Beverly Hills mansions apparently that opposite sides of the street, and he's got like a yacht to upgrade. Who wants to put up with last year's yacht? Like fucking hell, it got a lifestyle to uphold.
It's dizzying amount of money. I mean, surely at that point you've got to have like 7 accountants to be able to just manage all of that. I mean, poor guy. He needs to get paid that much money because he needs to pay all these accountants to handle all of his money.
I read somewhere, right, in his defense, like he took Activision's net worth from £10 million in 2000 up to numerous billions worth of pounds now this year since he was at the reins. So, he grew a business. He should be a rich motherfucker and just take all the money from that business, right? While still laying off people. And I think that the profits were the turnover, $8 billion last year from Activision, which is up from 6.49 or 6.5 in 2019. So he's making money hand on over fist for this company, thanks to Call of Duty Warzone or whatever microtransaction laden bullshit that they're spitting out from this company these days. It's just money. That's all it is, guys. Let's not get angry.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you can't even be mad. It's the nature of the game at this point. It's the system functioning as designed, and he's playing it well. But one thing I think is quite interesting is EA is kind of in the opposite situation with their say on pay vote, which was 178.89 million votes against versus 59.6 million votes for. So they had the opposite. I mean, Andrew Wilson's still going to get some obscene amount of money for executive payouts and compensation on all of the different taxable and non-taxable buzzwords and all that crap. But I mean, I just think it's funny. It's rich people fighting rich people over percentages, which are more than most ordinary people will ever earn in their lifetime, despite how hard you work. I mean, CEOs, their job isn't to like make games. Their job is to make money and do like deals and talk to people and shit. I don't believe anyone, in pure labor terms, works hard enough for $155 million in just like one thing, not in factoring in salary or other bonuses or anything. That's absurd. If you want to talk about it in labor hours, which is what a lot of, that's the value of your work, right? The people making a game, which ultimately is just a game, it's not anything really important, it's an entertainment, we could all live without it, it's a material thing. The people, hard work, coding, possibly crunching overnight, missing important things, is that person working as hard as this CEO, or are they working much harder? I'm not going to say whether they are or aren't, I don't know, I'm not in either of those positions. But seeing these millions and millions and millions in bonus money or compensation or whatever you want to call it, and then the actual people building the product that is being sold and making all this money get none of it, or like a tiny
they get £200 gift cards when they get laid off
to spend in their own
at least
ecosystem.
Imagine them turning around to Bobby Kotick and saying, well, we don't want to pay you this to 150 million, how about
150 million
like, a few £1 million worth of that'd be some karma right there. I've just read another interesting stat here. Activision is expected to hire 3,000 new staff in 2021. How many of them they'll lay off soon after is yet to be seen. We're talking about Bobby Kotick's money, how much he's going to get paid now. There's bound to be some sort of layoff in the offing soon because that's what they do at Blizzard. Activision Blizzard.
Well, I hope he enjoys it. I hope he buys himself something nice and shiny.
I hope he chokes on it. I hope he chokes on it. I hope he goes out and has the most expensive meal he's ever had, like caviar and lobster, whatever, and he chokes on the fucker. That's what I hope. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to go and watch the full podcast, head to the description of this video and you'll find a link to our new podcast channel, or head over to patreon.com/prettygoodgaming and get early access.